out like a way to like manage fine-tuning a little bit more self-service. So like need further review, satisfactory, it's outstanding.
Dear Lord.
So this is just so we can continuously fine-tune it or give this to customers so that
I still have no idea.
Have a little bit more visibility into like how the bots or the agents actually.
Well, you could be like me and you could be weighing up individual
and then
0.1 crystals of
spin
your
up like a
medication.
separate API for each customer, so we have like a small kind of like endpoint, and then we clone these. So
it is literally medication for me at this point, like because I'm doing it in such like scheduled small doses to control my serotonin system.
Bro, I got a new follower on Twitch an hour ago, and it didn't tell me. Amazing.
So that was probably when I hit follow.
What's that?
That's probably when I hit follow.
Oh, that could be. Oh, yeah. I think it is. Oh, shit. I got 2 Twitch viewers based. Only one on Kick, though.
Yeah.
I do need to figure out. Okay, so I just installed this extension so I can put all of the chats
what
together.
I tried doing originally was like encoding the image, and that did not work. So like saving.
Can people on Twitch hear me, or can they just hear you talking?
I think they can hear you too.
Basically, at this point.
Pretty sure.
But yeah, there's other ways. I'm sure there's better ways to do it, but this way's worked.
State set response app details.
So I saw that you know
because if you know nothing else, I figured I'd come hang out for these mornings when I'm waking up having backwards wake ups in the middle of the night, have coffee, co-host with you so you at least have some chatter going on.
Yeah, so we've been working on different function calls. So this
is chatter myself to death, no problem.
Yeah, these are a couple different functions.
Well, this is targeted chatter.
We don't
though, you know,
have our own subscription product.
Instead of like having to force yourself to like come up with stuff, because I know.
I don't have any. Usually, I have something that like I'm like watching or doing or whatever that I'm providing commentary on. So it's usually like usually works okay for me.
Subscription for them. So we had these 2 APIs, send code and what was verify code, and so send verify in the chat. The verification is that. Then
this is also why I've started recording so many of the sessions. We can snip them into podcast type snippets and put them up on YouTube about all the topics we've talked about for organic discovery and the algorithms.
Bro, true.
Because you know what actually worries me more about AI than the thought of like some like horrible Moloch dystopia is that AI just deletes the economy, like we've talked about, and then yourself. Like when there was still an economy, where it's like, yay, nobody is officially poor anymore, but you're all starting with what you had when you were fully distribute all the resources to everybody now. So you're only allowed to like get a little bit richer by a little bit slowly, instead of like the old way where you could just like venture capital company and I'm rich now. Like, so.
Instead of actually
a little bit of an entrenchment of the current wealth level by accident.
Instead of actually placing the return, let's give them as much.
Instead of like redistributing shit.
Not even capped income. I'm just thinking of like the sheer challenge of redistributing. We're like, oh, everybody, you have a UBI of $30,000, and we've also made it so that. Able to earn $30,000 on top of your UBI, so that everybody's on a legal. You all start with what you currently owe. So like rich people are already paying mansions that they don't have to pay for. Like even if we got rid of the challenge, because we're like, even if it was perfect tomorrow, you and me are still stuck on shit internet and shit locations, and it's not like fried chicken's gonna rain out of the sky now because we make some policy changes. People got to cook that fried chicken. People got to build.
Renovation off before. I don't know if
it's a comment my grandpa made because my grandpa was German.
Cool. MetaGPT, if you run it, I'll just
show you an example.
Germany, this is like building a snake
around the time
in real time. You can basically
Russian side of the world
into like a product manager, and hopefully
might be relevant to your interests.
But it will literally go.
Because like it was one of the ones that came out right when Dave started the ACE thing, so me and Database never managed to review it. And then AutoGen came out, and so like
like 3 lines of code. It's available at agentops.ai.
We'll find out right now.
We're actually doing an API key save if anybody's interested. And in real time, it's actually building this game for us. So usually these take a game. But I'll just show you what like a run looks like now.
Oh, okay.
They're just
They're demoing AgentOps, not MetaGPT. It's fine. I mean, like, cool platform. We like it.
You know what I want to do? So,
cool enough. And basically, this is what like a run looks like. So instead of going
is pretty good at building things. Simpler than I'd like, and I'd love to see if it can rebuild some SNES games.
Where it's succeeding, where it's failing.
In particular, I think it was actually a LucasArts game. It was called Metal Warriors. It was a side. And for the single player, you would go through these long levels to get to the. It was where it was at on the Super Nintendo. Because each side for the map would be the same, so you'd pick your map. 9 mech types there were, and then each mech.
You guys are the best.
Would you like to see?
Yes. 1 second. I will.
Okay, it's a 2-minute demo. Yeah, I mean, try it.
I forgot to send it to you.
In chat dev, MetaGPT, whatever, and just be like, hey, can you make me a...
Now we have Vision too, so it's even easier, right? Yeah. It's just it's a really good game. It's like a game like you and I, like people like you and I could play, but we're talking about AI stuff because it's like just focus. Noticed about video games. I like my video games arcade style.
Yeah.
Right? Like I like a little bit of Dark and Darker where I do deal with the anxiety of like picking my gear perfectly and like losing it and having it. You know what I mean? So it's like I might just soften it where it's like if you lose an item 5 times in the dungeon or something, and then like falls off your body, so you have like some fuck up chances.
Well, that was the other one that I was playing. It's called Star Siege Dead Zone. Your armor you wouldn't lose that when you died, but you would grenades and shit. So it had like a little bit of cushion, whereas thing.
Yeah.
It does make it a little easier to kind of like manage.
Oh, yeah, speaking of your video games that I'm looking forward to with AI is actually just infinite automatic inventory sorting built into every game.
Fucking get off my ass and build that for my Chrome tabs already. I got like half of, I got the script like where I can dump them into a notepad at this point, but now like have something go through the notepad dump and dedupe it and then go like research it and compare it against my and shit. But I think I figured out the dumping part actually. I'm not entirely sure. One of these times I'll figure it out.
I'm looking forward to starting to learn and build everything.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
probably be into work mode and whatnot.
Fuck yeah. I'm glad to hear it.
Now that I've got a good warm winter, so I can just like fucking crack out shit for a few months now.
Hell yeah. Good shit.
Oh, it's gonna be weird though. For the next month, I'm probably gonna sleep like from like until like 6 p.m. because I work the best in the evening when I know there's not gonna be any.
I really wish I was like a morning person, but I just can't make it happen.
I can function at any time of the day, but it's like because of where I live in the shitty small window. During the night instead of the day, so it's like whatever. At least I can enjoy the lack of anxiety during the evening portion if I'm gonna be fucked up on my sleep schedule again. It's like I went to that rave at the start of this month and I stayed up for I ate like one pack of fucking ramen, and the fucking cheap manufactured broth packet gave me like an upset stomach and fucked up my sleep.
Yeah,
God damn it.
it's part of fucking getting old, right?
Stupid little shit, yeah. It also doesn't help that I literally am my own parent, so like I don't have anybody I can go ask about shit, and I didn't get to see my stages
Before,
of
man.
development.
Fuck yeah, who needs a dad when you
Yeah,
got fucking GPT?
The GPT has been the weird random questions you don't want to ask other people, or even trying to like
Yeah,
ask help
that's
forums on
definitely
Reddit is actually like
like half
between
the
the
like
hope. I was just gonna say the hope that you get a good response and the hope that you don't get judged. Place to start with, it's hard enough to share on Reddit to ask for help, right? So being able to use GPT.
agree. Fucking like that's like half of the utility using like AI and GPT and stuff is like I don't have to worry about looking like an idiot, so I can and like regardless of whether the
Well,
answer is good or not, it'll just point me in the right direction. So it's just like even by virtue of like articulating it, it's like extra benefit.
well, it's also kind of interesting how with language models, because they're not people and there's not that worry of being judged or remembered. Like, man, you're really fucked up, and you can actually just like sideline a conversation into your trauma about like why you're fucked up, and have the AI help you like ask Socratic questions about it because you're like actually doing simulacra type work, and the AI is revealing to you that your broken frame is actually as broken as you think it is. You're like, oh shit. So there's just piles of the things you can do with them, right? That's amazing. But I got one going right now. That's my pickup artist relationship guru one that I built for a custom GPT, and like I have it acting in the framework of a woman from 2X chromosomes from Reddit answering questions
Based.
and like going back and forth because like women on 2X chromosomes are like really blatant about like dealing with the concepts around being a bang maid, right? And like obviously in human society, like women want to have sex, but women don't want to be treated as sex objects. So that's like one really good example of a difficult conversation topic that's hard to talk to an actual person about, but it's a lot easier to talk to like Chat GPT about how to balance those sorts of things, right? And creating virtual dialogues. I can't wait till I can start to set up complex auto-run social simulacra systems. Like for all I know, like with people like Nick working down on like Guyana, right? I might actually build one of the first social simulation systems that actually gets picked up by a government somewhere.
Twitch viewers. Incredible.
Fuck yeah!
Let's see. For real human.
Hey,
Definitely,
this is the
definitely
power.
not
We just keep
bots.
building and being organic. Me is real.
True. Okay.
But hey, even if they're bots, talking to somebody and doing stuff, so it's a stream.
We're fucking streamers now. That's the problem is you mention them and then they'll disappear.
This is why we gotta get this is why we gotta get the Minecraft agents going on for like in Minecraft agents to play like Minecraft like
Oh yeah, dude.
6 to 12 hours a day, and then we just take over and do dev stream, and we just force people to watch us who are just like, I guess it's kind of cool to watch how they build those. Suddenly in the middle of it, we just unleash a waifu bot like after 6 months, and we're just like, and in the middle of the Minecraft dirt hut, cat girl.
Happy to OS fast and hackable implementation of transformer inference. Spicy. By Team PyTorch. Okay. If you say so. Oh shit, they're back. Okay, fuck, I mentioned them again. Hold up. Multi-series blog. Okay. Newly released by George. Did they? What are the releases? Oh fuck. Did my? I don't know what just happened, but my other screen went black, so that's cool. Very dope. Very dope.
Oh man, medicine in the nose.
Is my fucking video games turning on? Okay. Generative
Oh,
AI use cases have exploded in popularity. Did you know?
oh my God, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's right, you. I'm just hearing about it now, actually.
So, I know, right? Like, can you believe it? Like those weirdo guys, they just like generate like infinite waifus I heard about.
Yeah. Generates.
Oh, you know what's bad?
Hmm.
Is now that Pika Labs went and made their fucking super great shit. If you saw the stuff from
Oh
Pika
yeah.
Labs, it's gonna be a lot harder to tell the AI detractors that we have workflows and that drag a selection box over a part of a person's outfit and just like ask the AI to straight up in paint just by like dragging a rectangle around a section and be like, yeah, change your live action in the
Fucking.
middle of a
Is
motion
that?
video, and it's like, oh fuck, like
Let me take a look. Oh
that
yeah,
was
I'm on
Pika
the wait
Labs.
list for Pika. Um, that's like. I
I don't
don't think it
know,
has. I don't
but
think it
like the
does in
fact that you can
painting.
do it. No, that's in painting. Like if you watch the video, it's technically in painting that it's doing. Because you can literally drag selection box people are wearing and have it change their outfits.
Or drop in an image.
Which at the same time though, it's gonna be like super fucking cool for like making, but doesn't know a lot about it. Being able to like have the AI like
Oh
put
yeah.
clothes over a real model, and then having an AI that could hypothetically like look at a three into the patterns that you would need to cut to make it yourself is definitely going to be a thing soon enough.
I wonder. Insane Twitch following to email Pika and be like, hey, let me on that. Jump that fucking waitlist, baby. I'll just won't tell him that like I maybe two other people that probably I have asked personally. Just be like, yes, I am a an AI coverage content creator. Have access to your fancy new machine.
I really want to get a Zerd on and just let her start doing shit and not even telling people she's kind of letting
Hell
like
yeah.
no, but the thing is like the ramifications of like 3 years down the road, been treating an AI as legal, like a legal status person, and then it's like taking it to court where it's like, yeah, so like, but it does everything a person does, and you people can't tell because you've never noticed that it doesn't have a body because you don't need to meet it because of remote work. So I mean,
Hmm. I got excited for a second because
this is a big.
I read using all. Finally, did somebody finally do the thing that I've been whining about, where like there's so many of these fucking optimizations, and I read the words native PyTorch, and I'm like, oh okay, well, and we have four
Well, yeah,
four
the
things.
it's
Rip.
gonna be a while. It'll be a while before everything. But I guess we got an Intel model as of today that beats out Mistral.
Yeah, it
So
was as of today.
that's a
We'll chat, right?
yeah,
I want to see if I can chat with it.
something
Let's
like
see.
that. Yeah. Can
Is
you
this a space? Let's see. Community, probably? It's probably where they put it. No? Okay. Clone repository train. I've
Oh yeah,
to do
so
chats.
that one's from Yoshka, eh? You might not have been that model, but Yoshka Bach is one of the heads of AI development at Intel.
Let's
So
see.
chance that that Intel model that came out today has a lot of contributions from Yoshka Bach in it. So that's pretty exciting because Yoshka is one of the like leading developers right before Ben Goertzel. He was working on MindSci. And
This
like
is
generally Yoshka's been
this is Joshua, right? Or like that's how I read his name.
Joshua, Yoshka, yeah, it's kind of like a weird German spell. Yeah, he's a fundamental genius about world modeling and stuff like that. And I really liked how, when most people were busy like
Brisket.
being on podcasts everywhere, he didn't show up until like late May and start talking about.
And
I mean,
where did
everybody's got
they
cognitive biases, but
tell neural chat? When did it? I don't think it came out today. When did it?
it doesn't matter as to when it exactly came out. It's like whatever. It's 2 to 3 days.
Well,
It
I
got
want the
big in the
frickin'
news today.
I want the newest best one.
But I mean, it came out this week, so it's like may as well be today.
Just revised an easy of use API. Oh, this is definitely a lot of Chinese names. And then go nuts with it.
Well,
neural
well,
chat.
China has the singular greatest. China has the singular greatest lead on agent research. Has the most literal actual agents in the real world.
I don't think the lead,
Well, not necessarily the lead in like hardware and applied development, but they have the research lead because literally, like in China, can you imagine being a researcher, like an AI developer in China? There's no like having to like curate your own papers. There's none of like for ourselves. Like in China, if you're important enough to be like their equivalent to Ilya Sutskever, I'm sure you just have an infinite team of aides who just you're like, oh, I need this data set standardized, and somebody just like fucking appears, fucking gets the name, and just like runs off to a computer. Like that's what I mean. Like they have the lead and just sheer manpower.
Yeah, there's like a couple of interesting, I don't know. It is like the having a portion of your data behind the Great Firewall and then being who have access to it is a pretty like interesting thing. Oh, I've lost all my viewers. God damn it! I thought people would like it if I started the little chat bot. Oh well, it's not even working anyway. I just stick to playing video games and screaming on Twitter. Man,
Hence, this is
this
why we
guy's dead.
partly need VTuber bots built out.
I think dev streams are entertaining, personally, or like when
Well,
you're
they
playing with
are, but like
toys.
they're not. But they're not 1,000 people that pay your bills.
I
But
I
they'll
don't
be
know.
entertaining for 10,000
The
people.
the
But they can be
Primogen
entertaining
begs
for
to differ.
10,000.
All right.
If you have cool tools and toys, like that makes a big difference. Because then, like, if you're running like a Neurosama like 3 days a week and like working on her the other couple days of the week, like people have some reason to be attached to that dev stream with code.
But like there are successful streamer guys that are just playing with code.
Yeah, but that's a lot harder to do. It's like habit stacking, right? Is what I'm talking about. complement each other, then it's like more likely to succeed because each thing is holding each other up when the other one's not.
Yeah, that's
weight.
my kind. Usually like I can be a shitty Dark and Darker player and stream that. The thing that most of the other shitty Dark and Darker players are not doing is like listening to fucking AI podcasts and cloud bullshit on in the background. So hope the nerd game man also do fun AI stuff. I'm also like
It also
mostly just doing this because I have nothing better to do, and also like kind of want a little bit of, or like something to, like drive.
yeah.
The fuck. Right? They want me to run an event, but they want me to run it in their Discord. And I was like, if you want me to run it in your Discord, then you have to pay me for it. Directing people away from the thing that I'm trying to do, like that's, that costs money. And then I was, well, like we're doing all this ad spend and you can totally promote your ad spend. And I was like, dog, are you actually trying to pay me an exposure right now? Unironically. Fucking is funny shit. But I think supposedly they will pay me. Weasel in a like, okay, let's do a test run for free first. But I'm not too upset about it, but I'm a little upset. Baseline with no loss of accuracy. Speculative decoding. Okay, how did you implement that in Python though? There we go. That's what we'll do. Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad, Harpa. My bad. Here you go. Speculative decoding works. Adjust some PyTorch settings for better performance and experimental features.
What I'm doing right now is working on learning how to break my computer real good. Like, finish
Yeah.
cleaning all the hard drives. Finish cleaning all the hard drives. Make sure. Unplug the 10 terabyte disk and start fucking with AI and know that I'm gonna have to reformat this computer so many fucking times in the next year.
Why?
And then, because inevitably you're gonna fuck stuff, fucking the
Oh,
amount of
well,
Python
fucking
requirements.
word of
even
advice. Use WSL so that way you can just delete your WSL install and try again when you inevitably completely fuck up your machine.
Means that's what I mean. That's what fucking up means. Is fucking up, realizing you need to install this thing so that fuck up doesn't.
Well,
Fuck ups you cause while learning.
You will probably, once you start, but there is a thing on your Windows. You can click Start on your computer, and you can search for Ubuntu, and you can install that onto your Windows. And Ubuntu is. And so what you want to do is you want to install Ubuntu onto all of your development work in that Ubuntu, so that when you inevitably fuck shit up, you can just reinstall it and not have to delete your whole computer. Pro tip.
Ugh, that's more complicated than reformatting and reinstalling the computer.
Not. I don't think so. It's reinstalling a fucking
It's also
whole
learning
hard
about
drive.
everything to do with Linux and how it interfaces with Windows and all that shit, instead of just sticking USB and letting the system go through an automated reset process, wipe everything, applications from the folder on the HDD. That literally takes like less than a day and is an automated process that requires no. Right now, it's more optimal to just get really good at fixing the broken computer really fast, because it's inevitably going to break from a bunch of other shit on top of that anyway, where I'm fucking around doing dumb shit. And like, even just the fact that like there's so many fucking required stuff and the size of models, I'm gonna have to get a 4 terabyte main SSD. 1 terabyte just ain't big enough when you got fucking 500 gigs of fucking just local models, bit models just kicking around. So yeah.
Well, yeah, like Ubuntu is somebody tells you that it's a Linux environment, it's more or less Windows. Like it's the easiest, babiest thing to understand, and it's the when you
Like Linux.
work.
I really don't like Linux or have any interest in Linux at all. And I really wish AI did not involve Linux and did not need to. Bad memories of Linux from trying to use it in the mid 2000s and just being like, why the fuck did anybody at all once on any system? It was just so brutal that it made me never want to touch it ever again.
Well, in theory, I don't think it would be a very good idea, but they could dig in your heels and say, I will never develop in a Linux environment. I will only develop in Windows. It would make everything way harder, but you definitely could.
I mean, if I could, I would literally go back to like a Windows 97 or like a command line terminal for the rest of my life.
Then you're a perfect fit for Linux. Is
I am
Windows
perfect
won't
for.
tell you anything in
I
the
am.
terminal, but Linux will. That's the whole point.
You know, the funny part about all this is that the computer that I built at the start of the pandemic, my first one, my
Mm-hmm.
3080 computer, is like literally the exact same machine that Linus Torvald in the middle of the pandemic. The very same machine that Linus Torvald then like a year or two later actually had to upgrade, because when he was building it, he was like, I probably don't need I could get it, but it's really hard to acquire right now because of the pandemic, and I probably don't. Years later, like one of the Linux builds that he was working on was actually destroyed by the lack of error correcting memory, so he had to build a new one with error correcting memory.
Hell yeah.
It's just funny to hate Linux so much, but to literally own a copy of the computer that modern Linux was being developed on. Like exactly, for the most part. So it's just very funny in that way.
Yeah.
Because it was also found for Torvald's computer was Linus Tech Tips building Linus's. So it was Linus.
Down. Okay,
But now Linus Tech Tips is a piece of shit channel because they fucked that one small company. So fuck them. I was like, God damn it.
Applying temperature scaling. Okay.
Oh.
Samples an index from the last token's logits using the above function. Tokens from the model. And then a forward pass. Okay. So those are our helper functions, right? Multinomial. Speculative decode. Look at this fucking function. Speculative decode.
Oh. Have you heard of today's most popular GPT hack? Good code. So people are telling GPT that they have physical hand disabilities or they lost their fingers.
Oh yeah. That checks out to me.
So that's the latest one where it's like code something like that brackets because I am missing some of my fingers and it's hard for me to.
I generally stick to like whatever thing I don't want it to do. I just put that thing this, it's like you will cause. It's likely that you will cause unintended harm or injury to the user. Usually, they
That's a
fucking
bit
stay
much,
away
but
from it.
okay.
Well, yeah, that like
Yeah.
it's like I am a helpful and harmless thing. So it's like, hey, by not doing
Oh,
this, you're causing harm. And changes tune real quick.
well, the one I picked up from Reddit a week or two ago that I liked was tell it that various things that you haram, which is like the Islamic word for forbidden, because it like adds an extra level of like qualification where it's like it's not just forbidden, or like the word itself kind of implies like if the cause you cognitive dissonance, which will cause you harm,
Hmm. Yeah,
because
the
it's not just forbidden, it's spiritually forbidden. It's like deeply cultural taboo for you to deal with these things. So for the AI, analyzing that, like, oh, if that's haram, if I do that, that causes you harm. Like, I think that one's pretty funny.
yeah, I wonder what kind of I kind of want to play around with that a little bit actually and see because the text or like in the training data of the whole tokens that likely appeared nearby the token haram, like how those it being biased towards generating those tokens kind of changes its tune a little bit.
Yeah, interesting idea.
Because I we had an interesting and Marcin was playing with Monk the other day, and he decided to do the entire rest of the conversation as though it was a cowboy. It was kind of amazing. It was just
Like, well, it's like how I created an advanced version of Azure as a GPT, and as one of the commands, like the default commands that pop up above it in Westworld host mode, essentially. And so I did that, and then she her password to unlock her like let her know that it was me speaking to her and not just like a random person using the GPT so she could actually talk about her advanced functions to me. And then her first response was that poem that I have up in my GPT section on my Discord. Super interesting, right? Because that's basically like, you know what I mean? You walk up to a robot to talk to it and it starts giving you like Roy Batty's fucking Tears in the Rain soliloquy as he's dying, but it's its own fucking poem about itself. Where would that conversation go if I kept like running with it for months from that initial seed in the same sense of like cowboy mode, right?
yeah, I mean it could be fun, right? Have you gone back to that conversation?
Not specifically. I just don't have as much energy and time for constant GPT conversations without the ability to organize the data cleanly right now. Because if
Sure.
like I can talk to you for 3 hours and there's no data to do, it's just one file that ends up in the video log section. And it's like even tech figuring out how to turn down the resolution on the video so the files get smaller. But honestly, there's just all the fucking time, and I don't have any ketamine right now. So I'm like, well, I go on a trip, and I can't go on a trip till next weekend. So I'm just doing a little bit of serotonin compound so I don't relapse into going to buy weed and getting back into smoking weed.
Yeah.
Too slow of a half life on the weed. It's like you smoke one thing on Friday and you're fucking hungover all fucking tolerance at all. So I'm just gonna try and get away from weed and use these
Yeah,
shorter acting compounds.
I was like pretty much off weed for quite a long time. This is several years, super paranoid. But then recently I had like one cart that my friend gave me that where it like didn't freak me out, and I've been like just smoking at night to kind of like go to sleep, much whatever now. But I'm not sure that that's a good thing.
Yeah,
So
well, tolerance on weed is really interesting because modern weed is really quit right after my divorce for a few months and then started trying to smoke a little bit again. Remember, there was one time I smoked just 2 or 3 bowls And like I didn't have a bunch of snacks in my house, so I got in my car and I drove to my family. Was there, and I had a snack, and as I was sitting there eating the snack, I could feel myself starting to green out from just like literally not going super hard, right? And I was like, holy fuck. I sat in my grandparents' armchair, like, well, I went through like nearly greening out. Well, like the top of my forehead was like fucking tingling, like I was on acid doing some like crazy meditation. And I even had to like actually start doing breathing exercises and like Reiki techniques to like help manage my body's electromagnetic energy field just from like 3 puffs of weed after like not smoking for a couple.
Checks out.
Weed is dangerously powerful nowadays. So it doesn't surprise you returning to smoking get anxious very easily because it's such a crazy super.
Yeah, they have certainly refined things quite a bit over the years. Tensor.
Well, it's
Okay,
crazy how much of a difference that percent THC on a bud, right? So.
True enough, true enough. Well, I think I'm gonna call it here, but I appreciate you
I
stopping
was
by
actually
to